I'm making a city builder. You can think of it like a deck builder, but the cards only work up to a certain distance. The town market gains income for all the nearby houses. The logging camp harvests the forests that are adjacent to it. This is why we are using the hexagonal grid, because the player can then make very accurate setups, and the whole game is then designed behind this placement system where you can clearly see everything. Not at all, because I wrote this system 2 years ago and I refused to give up and say that those hours were wasted. Usually when you are prototyping a game, people tell you to not polish it, at least not too early. Because if you polish a third, you have only wasted your time. But sometimes you don't know if your design is good before you do any polishing, because it is actually the polish that makes or breaks the game. So let's test this. How can we make placing buildings feel better without actually adding any new mechanics? Just communicating with the player. First, I added particles. These bad boys spawn from the building/object that was a positive influence. They can be a number of different resources, money, etc., which I'm not going to go into in this video. A placement may trigger multiple influences. But there is still a problem here. While yes, a lot of stuff is flying around, it doesn't really give us an accurate image of how well the buildings are doing. So like damage text, I think we need a counter on top, so that each building we can see how much it's gaining and scale the effect based on how big the number is. We could take this much further in the future, like change the font after we reach a certain threshold, but I think that's good enough, at least for now. Then, in traditional games, and by traditional I mean fighting games, the damage text after certain points usually starts causing explosions, screen shake, post-processing, what have you. But as a city builder, I thought that it would be much more fitting to have fireworks play out, like a celebration that you did a very good job. So now, on every multiple of 10, ramping up, we get this firework playing out. It changes the color and the sound effect gets much louder the higher the number. Anyways, I need to get back to developing other important stuff like the weather system instead of completing the game, so here is a side-by-side comparison.